Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week on the Cyclekart I'm getting distracted by shiny things again. See you in a minute. Now I'm just starting to put the Cyclekart back together for its final sort of assembly to hopefully get a rolling chassis. And then it'll only need to come apart, or parts of it will only need to come apart to paint or for any remedial work. I think that's the plan anyway. These things never always go to plan, but I've just decided, in my usual why make something easy when you can make it complicated mode, that it would be nice to have some of the aluminium bits that are sometimes visible tidied up a bit. This is the plate at the front of the chassis frame, and it's just a bare aluminium plate. This is the underneath of it. There is one on the top that you'll be able to see, I think, through the grill, and I thought it might be nice to do some machine turning, or dueling they call it, I think, engine turning. Used to see it on the dashboards of cars a lot, particularly Bugattis and things, and on aluminium castings. And I've been having an experiment with various things: felt pads, rubbery sort of discs, things that will fit onto a lathe or a vertical pillar drill, or maybe even a Dremel. And I've got a variety of different things I've been playing with, and got to where I think I have a suitable finish, which is on a slightly abrasive piece of wheel, which I've basically glued to a shaft. And you just turn this with a pressure from a drill, and then move it on a bit and do another one, then move it on, do another one, and then come all the way back, and you overlap these things by about half distance, and it produces a pattern. And one of the things I want to do is the underneath of this and the other piece of the plate, and probably the engine mounts. But to do it, you really need it to be, or to make it look good, you need to have it in a proper fixed set of positions. So I'm just going to make a little jig up that I'll be able to just attach this to, and then it will give you a move along a fixed tray by half the distance of the diameter of the swirly bit, and then another one, and move it along and move it along, so that there's a regular pattern can be developed, rather than my crude sort of ad hoc do it by eye. So I'm just going to clean this up first, probably with the rotary sander DA, just to get it flat and an even uniform finish, and then we can start and think about how we mount it on the jig and deal with it from there. So that's knocked all the high spots off, and in fact even that looks far better than it did before. But I think the engine turning will be an option. The reason I'm doing it on the bit that's on the very bottom of the cart, is that if it doesn't work out properly, I can always go back to this as a plan B for the bit that shows. And then once that's done, I'll probably lacquer the pieces just to keep them in that sort of finish, which is halfway between anodized and polished. I don't know whether it will polish up at all, or whether it will just get dirty with a metal polish. No, it doesn't look a lot better once the polish is gone. So we'll make the jig up next and see how we get on from there. I've just marked a piece of board out. I'm going to use this bit of aluminium for a stop. That will be bolted or screwed on in a position there, probably just a pair of clamps actually, and set up so that the polishing mop or whatever starts its travel at that position. And then when that's done, I've got a 10mm spacing, move it up to the first notch, down again, move it up to the next notch, down again, and so we go all the way down. So that'll give me a line there. Then I'm going to move it across 10mm, and there's a set of lines which are now half spaced on that. So we'll go through the whole thing now again, and that will position it overlapping by half the width and half the depth. So that should carry on, and then we go back to the next spacing, the original spacing again, go up there, and then so on all the way across until we get to the far side when we're actually just finishing off the front edge. I think that's what I want. We shall see. We'll give it a go and find out. Right, so I've got the jig set up on the drill press. I've now got my marked spaces all the way down here that I can just move it up bit at a time. I probably will clamp them at each position, I'm not sure yet, but that will give me all the line of markings all the way up, and then I'll just move this whole thing over when I slacken the clamps off, and then move on to the 5mm offset next row of positions and work all the way up again. So we'll make a start on this one with a little bit of WD-40 squirted on, and then just set the thing going and gradually just work along doing that with it. But that gives me, I think, what I need to do to get it geometrically right, if you see what I mean. Okay, so let's see what we've got for our trouble. I don't think it's filthy doing this, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's by no means perfect, but it gives the right representation that I wanted. And bearing in mind this is the underneath of the cart anyway, this is never going to be seen. But I think that I'm much happier with that as a finish compared to that. And the only thing I must think about doing is to start with a half row on the top, because this has not really done a lot all the way along there, whereas along the back edge I'm pretty much right. So it's been a useful learning exercise. Just clean off most of the muck with a bit of isopropyl alcohol, but I think that is going to be exactly what I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting. What I might do then now is, after this is dried off, just give it a coat of lacquer just to stop it getting oxidised. But as I say, I'd far rather have that than that. Right, so there we are. It's been a bit of a diversion, but I think at the end of the day it's going to be useful, both for some of the brackets I'm making to mount the engine and things like that, as well as the bits that some of which don't even show, but at least I know they're there. I've given it a coat of clear lacquer, so we shouldn't get any problem with tarnishing or anything on the aluminium. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That is the sort of finish I'm looking for on the brackets, and I'm quite pleased with it. Hope the video was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week when we'll be doing something different on the Cyclekart. I'll see you then. Bye!